Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got a pretty big update about Incandescent Arcana, what is going to end up being Silver Tempest over here. We've got a bunch of new cards to talk about, including an absolutely stunning character rare. So I think that's a very good place to start. How cool is this? It is Altaria with Lizia. Oh no! She's from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if anybody was wondering. She's an idol. I don't know, if you haven't played Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you really should. Those games are absolutely stunning. I cannot recommend them highly enough. So, Altaria then, what have we got? Oh, and the regular art is also on the screen here. The regular art's also lovely. It's just, you know, when we're starting with the character rare, it's not that the regular artwork isn't stunning. It's lovely. It's wonderful artwork. The problem is, it can't be on the same level. Like, we started with artwork which is just too good, so it's kind of hard to, you know, be that enthusiastic about the regular art. Not because the regular art isn't worthy of enthusiasm, because the character rare art is absolutely stunning. But is the card actually any good? Well, what we've got here, and the translation here is partly from myself, partly from the lovely Antoine Boulet, and what we've got is, 110 HP, which is, it's not great. 1 retreat, which is annoying because we've seen Altaria with 3 retreat in the past. 3 colorless energy, 90 damage is thoroughly uninspiring. But for 2 colorless energy, move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active. And I actually really like this. This is really fun. Because essentially what you do here is your opponent tries to get a KO on one of your big Pokemon V-Star or V-Max. They don't get a KO, and then you move the energy over. So, you know, think back to something like Mega Mewtwo. Mega Mewtwo was a very good card. And one of the reasons it was so good is because you could just pile energy on, and it was one of those ones that did damage depending on the amount of energy attached to you and your opponent. But also, we would use it with the damage change Mewtwo and Shrine of Memories, so that if your opponent didn't get a one-hit KO, you would move all the damage over to them. Well, Altaria, you would swap it. And Altaria kind of does that, except it's not swapping, it's just moving. And it's not from Altaria, it's from any Pokemon. So if your opponent does 240 damage to a V-Star, you can just bring Altaria active, KO a Pokemon V, while healing. And that's the other thing, it's not just the amount of damage you can do here, it's also just healing. If your opponent's in a position where they can gust up and KO a Pokemon V-Star for the win, you can use this to heal them off while doing a bunch of damage, and that's wonderful! I really, really, really like this. Plus, it's for 2 energy, but you can use double turbo energy. You're not doing damage, you're moving it. So the 20 less damage from double turbo energy is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter, which is lovely. And also, I gotta mention, there is an Altaria that's worth playing at the moment. There is an Altaria which has found its way into a bunch of decks. And that is the Altaria with 3 retreat that came around in Evolving Skies. Let you put a supporter card on top of your deck. And to be fair, we've actually got the Altaria that came around in Champion's Path that prevents all damage done by Pokemon V and GX. And my point of bringing these ones up here is that you don't necessarily need to play this Altaria. You can be playing one of the others and just tech this in as like a one-off, just in case this situation ever arises. You can be playing the Altaria to go and search out a supporter card, or block your opponent, but then if you ever end up in a situation where this would be good, this is essentially a 1-card tech. I love it. I'm giving it 4 Warseas. I am a big fan. Not just because the character rare is absolutely stunning, though it is, because actually, we've got enough Altaria that you can start getting some fun stuff going on. Oh, also, it's a stage 1 that uses 2 colorless energy, so obviously Zoroark decks are going to be absolutely in love with this, because they just swap around stage 1s anyway, and they're going to be playing double turbo energy, or twin energy, you've got to imagine. So now, anytime this is relevant, yay! Although they tend to play smaller Pokemon, so the whole healing and moving and damage is less relevant, but you never know, it could end up being a fun single card tech. As well as that though, we've got ourselves a new Mewtwo. Who doesn't love Mewtwo? 130 HP is fine. 1 colourless energy, attach up to 2 psychic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. This is alright. Problem is, you're basically attaching 1 energy to accelerate 2. So, my opinion here is, and you're giving up a prize if you get KO'd. If you think you can use this attack twice before you get KO'd, you're swapping 1 energy and a prize for 4 energy on the board, and a lot of the time, it's honestly a trade worth making. I'm cool with this. If you're going to use this once, you're giving up a prize and 1 energy to attach 2 energy, so you're basically giving up a prize to attach an energy, not good enough. Simple as that. Now, free energy, psychic, colourless, 90 damage. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, you deal 180 instead. It's alright, but there's too many ifs and buts here with Mewtwo. You've got to have an opponent with 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, and you've got to have the free energy on, and really 180 is not good enough. You'll get support Pokemon like Luminion V, woo! But you won't get Pokemon V that are attacking. You won't get the bigger ones. And the problem is, sure, you can add a choice spout to go up to 210, but actually there are a lot of Pokemon V around with 220, so 210 won't often be enough. This is one of those Pokemon where there's too many issues. The free energy is awkward. I know we got ways to accelerate psychic energy. It's still free energy on 130 HP Pokemon. It ain't going to last that long. And you need choice spout, but even then you're not getting all the Pokemon V, and I don't know. I do think in a slower deck, you can accelerate energy in the early game nicely using this, and then that attack as a hefty bonus is actually quite nice. But honestly, a lot of the time, if I'm accelerating psychic energy in the earlier game, I'm probably going Cresselia. Because sure, Cresselia only attaches 1 energy, but it is from the deck, not from the discard, so you don't need to bother with a discard. And if it's my first turn going second, I'm getting free energy out. And I like that way more. So I prefer Cresselia to accelerate energy. I'm not necessarily loving the attack. And sure, there are times the attack is going to be great, but there's other times where it's not going to be, and I'm sorry, that's too much for me. I'm giving this 3 Wassies. There's clearly potential. I just don't think it's going to actually work out. But hey, we got a pair of Zacian and Zamazenta as well, so let's have a chat about them. Zacian comes in here with free energy, 100 damage. I don't care, let's move on. But single energy, 20 damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness, boo, or any effect on your opponent's active Pokemon. Yay! Thing is, with a full bench, you're only actually doing 70. 70's not great. It's fine, it's single energy basic Pokemon. It's not bad, but it's not good. I want it to be good, and it's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good, and that's a problem for me. I like that you can go through anything, so anything that would be blocking you, you can go through, yay. But you're not hitting for weakness, and it's not much damage, and I'm not loving it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really not. Although I do need to point out, the lovely Antoine Boulet has translated this as Battle Region, or Battle Legion, which does actually seem right. Remember that Sword and Shield 9A was Battle Region, but for a while we didn't know if it was Battle Region or Battle Legion, because of the way the Japanese language works. Well, we eventually figured out it was definitely Battle Region, but this attack is Battle Legion, and that makes me very happy indeed. I'm again giving this 3 Wassies, because I still like it. I still like single energy basic Pokemon, 70 damage goes through anything. But even where you are being blocked and you want to go through, I'm still not sure 70 damage is going to be a deal breaker. But then we finish off with Zamazenta. And incidentally, Ghidorah's not an artist I've really had my eyes on, but oh, I love this card. And what we've got is 130 HP, which again is alright. But we've got the ability Metal Shield. If this Pokemon has any energy attached to it, it takes 30 less damage from attacks. It's fine. Again, it's not good, because you've still only got 130 HP to begin with. Let's not get overly excited. But, you know, it's still decent. effectively 160 HP. You'll still be one-hit KO'd by most of the main attackers in the format, but it might save you here or there. But then we've got 2 metal, 1 colorless energy, Revenge! 100 damage. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 120 more damage, which then puts you at 220, which is the magic perfect number for getting a one-hit KO on Pokemon V. Problem is, it's free energy on a fairly weak Pokemon. Now, to be fair, 130 plus you reduce damage done by 30. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect. It's fine, but it's not perfect. I'm sorry. Here's the thing, though. We live in a world where Bronzong is a thing, and Bronzong lets you move metal energy around the field. So my advice on this card is simply this. In any deck that's playing Bronzong, this is actually a really good card. Because your opponent takes a KO, and what you can do then is move free energy over to this, and take a KO with a single prize Pokemon that's got an effective HP of 260, which isn't bad for a single prize Pokemon. And then your opponent either doesn't KO it, and you can move the energy somewhere else, or your opponent does KO it, and then they've only taken 1 prize. And actually, yeah, I kind of like this, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. I really kind of like this. I like this way more than the other single prizes I've looked at in this video. I think that Altaria's got huge potential. I think Mewtwo and Zacian are meh with potential. And I think this is legitimately a good card. And I think there are going to be decks that love this. I do like it in Bronzong decks way more than I like it in other decks. Yes, I know Metal Source is a thing, but are you really going to use 2 Metal Saucer just to power this up? Maybe you will. But remember, it's only good after a KO. I mean, as somebody that grinded into Worlds with a Terrakion deck, I love the if your opponent took a KO, do more damage thing. Yeah, me and Terrakion. Terrakion was my boy. I played so many different Terrakion decks pretty much the whole time this was legal. This is one of my favorite cards in the history of the game. 30 damage. If your Pokemon were knocked out last turn, you do 120. At the time, 120, especially hitting the weakness, was super relevant and awesome. This is a 3rd energy, though, but you are hitting a very, very relevant number. 220 is huge. I think with the support we've got for Metal Pokemon, this could be quite good. I'm giving this one between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. But I am also telling you that if you find yourself in a situation where you are playing a Bronzong deck, you should be playing one of these. There we go. They're the new cards. I mean, clearly, both the artwork and effect on Altaria are the real highlights here, but these are cool things, and I'm excited. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about these. I want to know which of these cards you like. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord where we chat about Pokemon and, well, all kinds of fun things. And I give shout outs to people like the lovely Edgar Moranes. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Who is a very lovely person and a supporter. So Edgar, thank you for your support and thank you for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.